Alright, back again, Luke here. And as you can see in front of you, today we're going to try and do a bit of a repair video. I don't know exactly how many of these things we're going to be able to repair, but this is another batch of different broken items that were in that box that I got from Alec. And I figured we could try and take a look at which ones we could get fixed and what we can do with these. A couple of things I've noticed off the bat here. Here's one of the screens, and it's beyond repair here. All the traces are kind of ripped out of the top, and unfortunately this one's not going to work. Plus you can see a lot of the ink is kind of spilled over here, as with a lot of these other ones. You can see around the edges here, but I'm kind of wondering, even with that leaking around the edge, if it'll still turn on or not. If it does, it's still not too bad, but we'll have to wait and see. But nonetheless, we've got quite a few here. We've got a Gameboy Advance that's stripped down. All of these are empty cases here. We've got 3 screens, one of them which is shot, but a couple more that might be reasonably fixable. We've got an old Game Boy here, which I'm not really sure, but it rattles a bit. We've got 3 motherboards here for regular Game Boy Pockets, I believe, or these ones, yeah, these are the Game Boy Pocket ones. And we've got a Game Boy Color laying over here. So what we'll do is we'll try and part some stuff together and see if we can get something to work. I'm not sure what'll happen, but we'll give it a shot nonetheless and kind of go from there. So first things first, I'm going to start just kind of monster like Frankenstein and stuff together and see what happens. I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so after just slapping a couple of parts together, you can see here we've got this one kind of functioning. You can see it still has the outline here where the ink is kind of bled through, but it still looks like it'll be quite decent. The screen on it is definitely playable, so this one might be one that we can put together and kind of bank on working. So far we've got one here. What I'll do is I'll try and work on some of the other ones and see what we get there. But one down. I guess we'll put the parts aside here to put this one together and make one complete one, and a few more to go. Obviously we won't be able to fix all of them with the limited parts that we got here, but we'll go ahead and give it a shot nonetheless and see how far we get. But I'll get back here in a little bit and show you guys what I find out next. See you guys soon. Okay, so not doing too bad. As you can see, we're up here 2 for 2. This is a different one with bleeding on the screen. This one doesn't seem to be as bad as the one that's up here. But yeah, nonetheless, both of these screens are working okay. Unfortunately, this one's ripped, so it's not going to work at all. But yeah, these ones are doing all right. So I guess the next thing we'll do here is try and test out maybe these 2 that still have screens in them, and go from there. But as far as it looks like we can make 2 Game Boy Pockets, and that'll be pretty cool. At least that's 2 salvaged here. We'll go ahead and take a look at these other 3, I suppose, and see what we get. See you guys in a bit. Maybe you guys are wondering why I'm using this game. This is also one of the games that came with the stack of broken stuff. Managed to scrub that up a little bit and at least get it to play, so but we're getting there. See you guys in a little bit. Alright, so next up we've got the Game Boy Advance, and unfortunately this guy here keeps killing out, dying off here after a couple of seconds of being turned on, and it doesn't matter what I do here, it just seems to keep failing at around the same point and turning off. So we're gonna have to go ahead and see what we can do about this one here. But yeah, this one's not working quite well yet. So, and also there's no sound with it, so we'll have to play around with this one and see what goes on. But yeah, unfortunately this one here not working so well. But we'll go ahead and we'll mess around with it and see what else we can do. But so far this is where we're at. We'll go ahead and look at the other ones and come back to this one and see what we can do. See you guys in a bit. Alright, so with a little bit of battery change here, looks like this thing fired right on. Looks like the biggest problem here was that the batteries were dead. So managed to put in some new ones, and it seems to be working right now. The biggest problem here is no sound still. I'm guessing the speaker is a little bit broken or crusty, but this is another one of those games that was in the stack, The Land Before Time. I think that's what it is. Can't even read it. But nonetheless, this thing here is working as kind of a test cart. But we'll go ahead and see what we can do as far as getting the rest of this put back together and go from there. But this one also seems to be somewhat working. So so far so good. We've just got a couple more here to try out, and we'll see what happens from there, but looking good so far. See you guys here in a bit. Alright, next up we got the old original Game Boy here, and popped in a few batteries, and I figured we'll give this a shot. So, you can see this is the dead heat scramble. So, pop that in and check some of that. Let's see. Okay, looks like that died. This could be another issue with batteries, so I'm not sure. Yeah, these batteries could be dead, I'm not sure. But it kind of clicked on there for a second. We'll have to go ahead and go back and play around with that again, I guess. Can't see the battery light. Well, we'll see. We'll see what's going on. But you can see it's still kind of getting power. We'll try that. I'll be back here in a few minutes. See ya. Alright, so after a couple of seconds here of fidgeting around and changing out some batteries, you can see... Ta-da! It's alive! And the screen looks fantastic, you know, for its age here. Not too bad. Well, I guess actually it looks like the pixel are a little bit off here. This corner is a little bit yellow on the sides, but still, no, not too bad here for the age of the system. I mean, this might be the fact that the inside is still a little bit unaligned or something as well, but not too bad. This old guy is still working here, so I guess what we'll do is we'll go ahead and try and clean this guy up, and this will be another one that's working. So, we've got one more here to test out. This thing is going to need all new parts. It's going to need a, what is it, directional D-pad. It's going to need the bumpers on the sides here on the top. It's going to need A-B button and on-off switch. It's going to need a lot of parts, and I'll have to see if I can find them for a reasonable price and put that back together just so we don't have to trash it. This is the last one here, which is the old Game Boy Color. And this thing, once again, is in quite a few bits. Looks like it's seen better days. This might be one that was sitting out and rusting as well. Kind of looks like it by the looks of it, but it doesn't have a back on it, so we'll give this a shot here in a second and see how that goes. See you guys in a couple seconds. Alright, last one up. We've got the old Game Boy Color. Figured we could turn this guy on, but in order to do that, I need to find a screwdriver, because this is not going to turn on. Let's see. Well, that turned on. And it looks like this thing is also working. Although in some really rough condition. This thing is working alright. So, looks like what we'll do is we'll try and polish all these things up, clean them up the best we can. And aside from this one needing lots of parts, we'll see what we can do about getting these ones at least up and running. And go from there. So, see you guys in a little bit. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got the Game Boy Color stripped down a bit more, and it's got a lot of kind of debris on it. Different kinds of mud and dirt. This looks like one that was also kind of stuck in the barn under the different elements here, and it's made its way inside the casing nonetheless. But shouldn't be too bad. We'll go ahead and get this thing scrubbed up here and put this thing together. I managed to find enough parts for both of these Game Boy Pockets, so what we'll do is we'll get those scrubbed up as well and try and get these put back together and see what we get. I think I'll still strip down the original Game Boy there as well. Doesn't seem to be turning on consistently. And also, the Game Boy Advance, I've ordered up a new shell for it, just because it's missing so many parts. It's missing the bumpers and the side plastic pieces, the directional pad and the buttons on it. So I've ordered up a replacement case for that. I'll probably put that in a different video, but as of right now, I'll try and get at least one, let's see, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 systems here up and cleaned up and running again. So I'll get on that, and hopefully here when we get back you'll be able to see 4 systems running well with yeah, no trouble. So I'll get on that and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, so here's another look at the other part of the case on the other one. You can see this thing's got more grunge on the inside, like rust and whatnot. So there's that one. Here's the old Game Boy case. It's not too bad. I mean, it's discolored and it's got a little bit of dirt on it. It's not bad compared to this one. And the back of this guy here. But yeah, we'll try and see what we can do with these guys and get them up and going. This guy's got quite a few scratches on it and whatnot. And in the light, it actually looks 10 times better, but if you get it just the right angle, you can see all the scratches and cuts and grooves on it. But these are the cases, and we'll see what we can do to get these things looking a little bit better. This one doesn't look too bad, so. But I'll get on that and try and get these scrubbed up a bit, and see you guys here in a few minutes. And as you can see here, as we're fixing systems, I figured I'd show you guys a few games that were included with this. This is the Dead Heat one that I've been using to just play. None of these has screws in them, so this is Spanish, and this is the other one that I was using to test, what is it, Out of This World or something like that. I can't remember the name of this title, but yeah. Game cartridges are, you know, they're not in the best condition, but they should prove to be good for testing. I'll have to clean these up as well. And this is one that, I don't know if you guys saw or not, this is a Gameshark, which I haven't had a chance to test out at all, but this will be kind of fun. Maybe I'll strip this one down and try and get this going as well. But we'll get on that, and I'll see you guys here in a little bit. Almost finished up with the other stuff, so we'll put it all together and show you guys a final video. See you in a bit. Okay, so just to show you guys here the final results of everything, I'll do these one at a time here. You can probably see the floor is a little bit of a mess. But the first one up here, this is the purple Game Boy. You can see it still has the scratches in the screen here, but the buttons, everything else, as far as the rest of the casing, stripped down and polished up the best we could. And you see I got a couple of batteries in there. These are ones I've already slapped together and tested out a bit, but that's how this one came out. Not too bad. There's the first one. The next one here, this is one of the Game Boy Pockets, and this is the red one. Now, Alec actually mentioned something about maybe making this, it was originally 100% red, but making it kind of like a Virtual Boy. So with the parts that he had, we have the red front and we have the black back. And I think it looks kind of cool like this. So we've kind of got a bit of a Virtual Boy looking Game Boy Pocket. You'll notice here on the side, you can still see where some of the ink or the inside of the LCD screen is bleeding, but other than that, I mean, it looks pretty decent. And since we're just using the parts that we have to try to repair these things, it's not too bad. Another one here. This is the other Game Boy Pocket. This is the blue one, which looks much better. It's hard to see the ink kind of dripping out there or leaking on the inside of the LCD screen. This one still has its scratches on it, but nonetheless came out pretty decent. And so I've got 1, 2, 3, and the last one here is the big monster. This is our original Game Boy. Once again, you know, a little bit discolored here, but I mean, that can't be helped. The rest of the system has been all polished up and not looking too bad, especially for the age of the system. So what I figured we'll do here is just show you guys these things working and in action, and then we'll call it a video. These are the games. Once again, not too much of a change here. This is one of the games. This is the other game. Didn't have a screw in it, so just kind of like put a screw in the back there. This was all kind of chewed up, but these two. Here's this one here, Dead Heat Scramble, and the last one, which is our Gameshark. So let's pop these in and check some of that. First one here, I guess we'll do, is the old Game Boy. And like you've seen in the previous video, these things do work, but let's see if they'll work first time. Oh, that's pretty promising. Nice. And there we go, you can see. will work in really nicely here. From parts to playable, not bad at all. I think this one maybe doesn't have any batteries in it. We'll come back to that one. This one does though. Let's use the Spanish translator. See how that works. Well, let's give it a go. Oh yeah, nice. Like I said, I mean, even though you can see that a little bit on the side there, it doesn't really affect the gameplay here too much. Nice. Well, this one's working quite well. Pretty awesome. So the game's working, and the system's working. Good night. Buenos noches. Alright, so we'll put this guy over here, and let's see. Let's try this one, since we've already got this one here. This is the other one. And alright, this one's working pretty well. Unfortunately, it looks like my battery's gonna die here on my camera, guys, but as you can see, the systems are up and working. They do look pretty decent compared to what they originally came from, but that's about all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon, so thanks for watching. Can we get the last one in here before the camera dies? Should have checked the battery before. No, come on. Ah, quick, quick, quick. Let's see. No cover. Gameshark. Game. Power. And that's not in there secured. No! I can see this thing flashing already. It's like, no, it's not gonna hold out much longer. Let's adjust this contrast here. There we go. So the Gameshark's working too. Just in the nick of time. But thanks again, guys, for hanging around, and we'll put up some more repair vids here soon. Got other stuff we've got to fix up, but everything is looking good. Whee! Do 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 repaired. Do do do. Take it easy, guys.